Hello, everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. Right, this one isn't for me. This is for someone else who's decided to come back. Here he is. That's John. John looks surprisingly like me in that video, but yeah, that one, that's for you, John. What do you reckon of that?
Yeah, that definitely weren't you, mate. You ain't moved that well for fucking 30 years. Last time you moved like that was Benji's, yeah, 1999.
Mate, I could move though, couldn't I? I could move. The hips don't
move.
lie.
Next day you'd fucking suffer, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Hold on, was it the front door Benji's or was it the back door Benji's?
Oh yeah, back door. When was it? When was the back door night, Jay? You'll know.
Sunday evenings.
Was it Sundays? John knows. John knows.
Sunday evenings, yeah. Yeah, Sunday evenings, yeah.
Yes. Right. Okay. Impromptu show. Look, we've got very different opinions on this, by the way. Very different opinions. So there's going to be a little bit of balance. I'm sure you all know I'm starting to get a little bit impatient. I'm happy with things. I'm happy with Lottie. I'm happy. I'm happy with Tim, I think. But we're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna talk about that. But basically, what's brought this on is that fucking link from nowhere for N'Golo Kante. Kante, is it Kante?
Kante? N'Golo Kante?
I didn't see Kante. Yeah, Kante, yeah. So we're going to be talking about that because I don't even know how we arrived there. I've got no idea. But before we go anywhere, Mickey, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good as gold. Tired. This heat absolutely ruins me. This heat.
Can't do it.
Nah.
I can't do it. My nuts are welded to the inside of my legs.
It aggravates the life out of me, John. I can't get comfortable. I can't sleep.
No, I know, but heat rises, so surely it misses you.
Fucking hell.
It's started already.
Fucking hell.
It's started already. Right.
Sorry, I've changed.
Right. Jay, how about you, mate?
Mate, well, I live in Spain, so the fucking heat's wonderful. My nuts are continuously welded to me inside of my legs. I've got used to the feeling. It's just an extra add to the wipe when you go, so it's all good.
Mate.
All good.
Yeah. I've got to object. John, can you talk to me about that hat that Jay's wearing? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't really know what we're doing with it, to be honest with you. I mean,
John's jealous because he can't get one to fucking fit his hat.
Hang on a minute, Mick. I've got 3 blokes working on it, right? I've got 3 blokes working on my hat. He looks like Jay looks like a Canning Town version of Crocodile Dundee at the minute. That's what he reminds me of.
He does.
You know what I mean?
Jay, you're good though, yeah?
Fantastic, mate. Yeah, fantastic. Looking forward to this, to the show and to the new season.
Yeah, good stuff, mate. And John, finally, how are you, mate?
Yes, I'm good. I've given into public pressure, all the fan mail from all the Vimins. I'm back. Yeah, I wasn't. You're laughing, but I've got proof on my phone. Yeah, DMs. I never left. I was having a break, and it just materialised longer than.
Is the underwear still being sent through to you? You know, you still getting bombarded?
Yeah, often.
Yeah.
Often, mate.
Yeah.
Often.
Cool.
Mrs. is still jealous.
Yeah, sorry about that, John. I'll stop sending it now.
I'm good.
Oh, good. Right, okay. Well, look, let's get into it. So, first of all, we'll talk about we'll talk about how we've arrived at Kante a little bit later and try and sort of suss that one out. But on the whole, where we are now, so we're flying out to America now. You know, the window's been open ages. I know that we've had the Euros. I know we've had Copa America. I get that, but there is a big rebuild. There is. I start with you, Mick. In terms of what you thought was going to be the case, bearing in mind we thought that a new life with a director of football, Tim Steiten, because let me just frame what I think a director of football does or what he should do. A director of football, he's been here a year now. They should be looking at the existing squad. They should be assessing the gaps in the squad, where you need to improve, what you need to do, and then they should be spending their time identifying targets and queuing them up. So by the time you arrive at a transfer window, a lot of the legwork is already done. So they've made contact with agents. They've established whether a player would be interested in joining or not. Roughly what sort of money would you be asking? You know, would the club be interested in selling? How much will that cost? Get all of that legwork done. That's what I thought. So we'd be ready to go, because you got Lopetegui coming in, he's definitely changing the style of play. We heard, what's his name, Kudus. He spoke really highly of what they're doing in training at the moment, so he's really excited. So they're changing. We're changing style, which is a big thing. So I thought it was very important that we, especially in this window, that we got players in early. So this is where my frustration's coming from. Mickey, what about yourself, mate? How do you feel about this window so far?
I'm not worried in the sense of how long it's taking us. Like we were saying then, John was right. The Euros have just come. They're having a break. I'm not too worried about that. What I am worried or very underwhelmed by is the players that we link to now. It's a bit like, and we're all happy that Loppy's in there, but do you remember when we was linked with Almiron first? And that's what diluted the fact that we got Loppy, because we was all excited about we was going to get this. Same kind of things happened with the transfer. I really wanted Fofana, for example, but now we're getting linked to McTominay again. So it's just a bit underwhelming. The people like the Calvert-Lewins and the Wilsons and that. They're a no for me. But
so were you not expecting business to be done a little bit quicker?
I think because what you were saying, yes, maybe, but I think being a West Ham fan, we've been used to this. And I know what you're saying, it's a whole new setup now with a director of football, but we're so used to it that even if we've got like 2-3 players in next week, that's still quite early for us, being a West Ham supporter.
Yeah.
But I don't get what you're saying, that it should have been, or you thought might have been earlier. But
it's what I envisaged was going to happen. I thought it was going to be different, but it ain't really different, is it?
No, because I thought the same as you. I thought that they would have had players ready to go. Like he'd been itching to get ready. So then when the window opened, we would have seen a flurry of players if it was going to be like that. But obviously it's not worked out like that.
What about yourself, Jay? So you're quite calm about things, aren't you?
Mate, I'm fucking buzzing about things because, in fairness, the way I've looked at it is, first and foremost, we've got in Kilman. We've got in Kilman and I just pronounce his name.
Wilhelm.
Guilherme. Yeah.
So
Gilliam.
Gilliam, yeah. I would argue straight away with them two already. The squad is stronger, potentially even the starting 11, because Kilman's going to get into the starting 11, right? But then on top of that, you got Kante, who this season could be like a new fucking transfer, new signing. And he played the other day in that practice match. Now, I'm not saying that practice match is going to give us a big fucking, this is what's going to happen next season. But even in the practice match, did you see the way we played as a team? Was it Alford who was dropping back first half, and then you had the wing backs flying down the side?
You had Alford and Potts in the middle. I really like that. And Earthy looked the bollocks in the second half.
Earthy came on second half, but you see the way. So, and that goes into the fact that you were saying about the youth teams that have been playing the system that they've been playing 3-4.
Yeah.
So I personally think in regards to the transfer business, we got 2 players in. We got Kante who I believe this season, if he's given a crack, he ain't bad. If you watched him at Burnley, he done all right in the Premier League as well. It's not as if he's not Premier League fucking proven. And then most importantly for me, I think our starting 11, we're going to actually see them in their actual positions this season, which again is almost like a new lease of life. So I think we're doing all right. And I do agree with John. The Euros, of course, always slowed down the transfers because people wait to see if they can put bunts on.
And you've also, sorry, Jay, you've also got the Copa America's been on as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You've got two huge, or 2 of the biggest tournaments simultaneously going on. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, in my opinion, I think the window already has been far better because we did get business done early. We was all fucking like, wow, like, when we got Gilliam in and Kilman, probably less underwhelmed by Wes Foderingham, not overwhelmed by that. But I just think Jay's right. In my opinion, you've got players. It is a big rebuild. if some of them players were going to go out the door, if some of them players weren't going to get given a new lease of life, and if some of the youth team weren't going to be pushed up into the first team, i.e. Orford, which we've all been crying out for. The rebuild is too big to do in one window, right? It's not going to happen overnight. And as impatient as you want to be, we have to be patient and we have to trust the process, because you've got exactly, or we've got, or the fan base have got exactly what they've wanted now. So there's no point throwing our toys out the pram and suddenly going, oh, for fuck's sake, why haven't we bought this one and the other? We have to be patient. The rebuild is that big.
I'll get that. But can you understand where I'm coming from with what I envisaged was going to happen going into this window, having Tim as a director of football? Because it's always been a pain in the arse, West Ham, in the transfer window. Don't get me wrong. Look, as much as we criticise it, we've had some shit windows, but we've had some blinding windows. Even, long before Moyes, Billich's window. Sam Allardyce had some good windows. We do always seem to manage to get players in, even if they do leave it to the fucking end and they pay over the odds and they do whatever they do. But I just thought, I've always hated the way that we conduct ourselves in transfer windows. I always have done. And again, I know, and this is true as well. So I spoke to that Paolo about this.
Which one is it? Who's you speak to? Both of them?
He's Paolo Paul. Both. So good they named him twice. So he's saying, look, because we've been linked with 170 players. It is true.
Nothing new, is it?
Yeah, but it is true what they're saying. How do we know that they're even real links? How do we know that there are 170 players? Yeah.
What, you mean you're not going to believe everything you read online and Twitter and that? Oh my God, Nick, you have
no, but it's 100. But it is. I don't know. I am getting frustrated with it, and I am. And this thing with this. I'll tell you what. Let's go straight onto it then. Well, first of all, we go there because you're not a fan of Kante, John. Do you think that Kante could get a new lease of life in this window?
Listen, of course he can. He can be given a new lease of life. I was very underwhelmed by Kante because I disagree with what Jay said there. Sorry, Jay, and I've disagreed with it in the past. I wasn't thinking he was brilliant when he was at Burnley. He was okay. And I think that obviously under Moyes, he had the injuries. He was frustrated. He weren't given a go, whatever. So Kante, we was talking off camera before you come on, Nick, even somebody and some people are going to laugh, but even somebody like Danny Ings, these players are going to be given a second chance. And sometimes a change is as good as a rest, i.e. a new manager coming in breathes a new lease of life into players that we were, and I'm probably guilty of it with Kante, writing off, right, under Moyes, yeah? But you have to be realistic. If you're in any walk of life and your boss is someone you detest, are you going to be doing a job to the best of your ability? Is that person going to get the best out of you?
Of course.
Probably not. So the rebuild is a big one, but potentially he has a lot within that squad, i.e. players that we thought were deadwood and youngsters that could rejuvenate it.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, the one thing I'm really, really excited about, and I am, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of booted off a little bit. I've reacted badly to Kante because we've spoken a lot about Potts. Potts is a player definitely who I think is ready. Just looking at him, watching him play, I've seen clips of him. I won't lie and say I watched him, every game at Wycombe, but I've seen a few games. He is a class act. He really is. Glides across the pitch. He's a fantastic player. Very, very naturally talented player. I think he's ready. I don't necessarily think Orford is yet. I mean, because Wycombe had Eze. They've also had Potts. They've done such a good job. I wouldn't be against. Obviously, they've got to get the contract sorted with Orford. I wouldn't be against sending Orford out to Wycombe because it's important to find the right club to send the kids, isn't it, John? Because otherwise, they're not going to develop at all. Wycombe do seem to have done a good job there. I don't think, especially because we've got Alvarez, he's going to be back. We've got Paqueta as well. Paqueta, I believe, I'm sure Paqueta is going to be a central midfielder. He ain't going to be a left winger, is he? So you're going to be looking at Alvarez and Paqueta in the middle. If Kante comes in, what happens? And are you in favour? I'll go to John first. John, what do you think of this Kante link? Honestly,
obviously, the mindset is he's playing in a weak league now in the Saudi league for Al Ittihad or whatever they're called. I'll be honest. I thought in the Euros he looked better than I thought he would be. I wasn't like, oh my God, he looks shit all of a sudden, right? I know he's had his injury problems. I wouldn't be adverse to getting him in. However, I think 25 million is too much. I can see the logic of getting experience in. I know he's 33, and I know he had a few injuries at Chelsea towards the end of his career, but he hasn't. And again, it's not the same level. He hasn't had any injuries out in Saudi. He's played every game this season, I believe.
No, he's played every minute, I think, more or less.
Right, he played every game, every minute. Now, and I know it's a weaker league, so don't get me wrong. But it's hot. There's a lot of heat. There's a lot of humidity. That can take your toll on that. I wouldn't be adverse to getting in an experience.
I'm testament of that today, and so my nuts are stuck to my leg currently.
But he's a winner. He's a winner.
Sorry.
He's a winner. I think 25 million is too much. If we're going to get him in, I understand why they'd get him in, but not for that money for me. But I would take him if it was peanuts.
See, for me, it's not really the money. I mean, 20 million, because if you look, if you can guarantee that you're going to get him peak Kante, because in his last season at Chelsea, he played 7 games. He was injured for the rest of them. Yeah, that's all he was available for. There is an interview floating about. I saw it earlier on where he mentioned, because he's not all about money, even though he earned 300 grand a week at Chelsea and he's earning 400 grand a week tax-free in Saudi. He's not. He's quite a humble guy, and I think he does a lot for charity. A lot of his money does go back. He does a lot with his money, but he's not a charity case. He ain't going to come here for nothing. He's not going to drop. He ain't going to be expecting 400 grand a week, but I doubt he's going to be expecting much less than what Chelsea was offering him. Our highest paid player is 150, Lucas Paqueta. There's players that I found out today that have got clauses in their contracts that say they always have to match the biggest earner. So I think Bowen's up there now. There's a couple. So you bring someone in on 200 grand a week all of a sudden, he ain't going to take less than 200 grand a week. That's why I think that it's probably not going to happen. I can't see why they're exploring it. Listen, I still think that he is a world-class player. He is only 33. He's not 34, which is what I thought he was. It does make a big difference. You know, a year at that age is a big deal.
He only just turned 33 as well.
Yeah. It does make a big difference.
March.
He is actually a world-class player. He is in that position. A CDM, he's fantastic. But it's a lot of money to pay for someone who the last time they was here, they had injury problems. They went to, like I was saying to you, that interview, he said that he was going to the Saudi League, not for money. He was going there because he wanted to try and prolong his career. So coming back from the Saudi League to the Premier League, playing in what we believe is going to be quite a high intensity game, John. We're going to be pressing and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused about it. I am. I'm confused about it.
I genuinely don't think it would happen. I think that Lopetegui knows what he wants. He probably knows, somebody like him. You'd imagine he's very organised. Sort of age is important. Age criteria. Max Kilman, 27, 28. He probably wants players who he can trust. I can't see it happening.
I agree with you on that, John. I agree with you with Lottie, but then the thing that worries me on that is that what we see, and I know he's paper talk and that, but we're getting a lot of stuff that like players linked who Sullivan wants. So that's the worry, because if he's all about the salt ass, if he's about the salt ass connection, then it's all to do with money and everything. That is a worry.
Look, there is definitely that there. I mean, Lopetegui is a salt ass manager. Kilman's a salt-house player. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's a salt-house player. Callum Wilson's a salt-house player. It does feel very, feels very strange.
Sorry to interject there. Just because they're salt-house players don't mean they're bad players, the ones you mentioned.
I know that, but I'm talking about our strategy. For me, when you get a director of football, John, if all you're going to do is continue doing the same thing that we've done before, which is take players that the agents are offering Sullivan, there's no need for Tim Stein. You can't tell me, because you don't need Tim Stein to identify Max Kilman. You don't need him to identify Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You don't need him to identify Scott McTominay.
Well, Gilliam, he did. He got him.
Guillaume is one. Yes, he is. I know, okay. but you know what I'm trying to say. It's looking to me. It looks like what they was doing in the last window with Moyes. It looks like it's one for Lopetegui. It's one for Stein. They're giving one to Lopetegui, and now they're looking at the fucking standard players that we've been linked with every 4 windows. So
that's the frustrating part, and that's the underwhelming. We're getting it's all the time the same players.
Yeah, but then you're already assuming that Lopetegui is the new yes man, because you're basically going along with the fact that he's doing. You're already saying that he's doing what Moyes was doing. Yeah.
I don't think Lopetegui is. No. I don't think Lopetegui is. I don't think Lopetegui will put up with it. I don't think he will. He's proved it. He's proved he won't at Wolves. He walked out.
I agree with this one. Kilman is a Lopetegui signing, so he got his man. He wanted him, regardless of what. If we thought he was too much or whatnot, I'm happy that Loppe got his man. If that's who he wanted, lovely.
Yeah, look, Stephen Garner. This is why I'm not worried, because I know that Lopetegui is a manager. You know, he walked out on Wolves, whether you agree with him walking out on Wolves or not. The chairman reneged on promises, which he did do more than once, and he walked out. And that's it. So ultimately, for me, I respect someone that stands their ground, and I think he will.
Can I tell you what the real fear is with me? And I'll go to you, Jay, on this one. What my real fear is, and I've not had this confirmed. I've had it confirmed as a rumor and a possibility by someone, but it isn't. It's not set. It's not set in stone. The fact that we've been linked with Kante kind of backs this up, because I've been hearing that Alvarez, we all have, he's been linked with Man United. You know, he used to be a Ten Hag player at Ajax, and they was going to be putting a bid in for him, and then he went and got bloody injured. But he's due to be back. He's set to be back before the season starts. I'm hearing that is gaining traction. That's what I'm told. I'm hearing that Ten Hag does want it, and I'm hearing that Alvarez wants that move. That's what I'm hearing. Now, us going for someone like Kante, it does make me wonder if there's something in it. And also the links with Scott McTominay and Wan-Bissaka as well. So, Jay, how would you feel if that played out? If we was to sell the likes of Alvarez, get in Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Because the thing is, if you look at it from from a business perspective, say you sell Alvarez for 90 million. You get Aaron Wan-Bissaka's worth 15. You get Scott McTominay's 25. That's 40 million. You get 50 million cash. Would you swap Alvarez for McTominay, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and 50 million for a striker? Is that good business?
Right, for me, and one thing I've been a bit nerdy with lately is, and I said this, Shunik, is actually looking at how Lopetegui plays, because in fairness, I didn't really know how much he played and how he played football. Alvarez is probably our most important player under Lopetegui, because of the way he sets up his team. He has the CDM dropping back into the centre-back position so that the wing-backs can fly down.
And that's perfect for Alvarez, mate.
Right, that's Alvarez's game all day long. But it's interesting. When I'm hearing another way I've looked at the Kante thing is, first and foremost, with our current squad, I would have Kante over anyone else if Alvarez ain't available. Now, Alvarez ain't available because he gets booked and stuff like that. Having Kante come in to do a role that he ain't as pacey as he used to be, but what he proved at the Euros is he can still get around the pitch, and he's still got an amazing fucking football brain on him, Kante.
No. He is undoubtedly, Kante, when he's fit and firing. Look, he's a top player.
But mate, also on top of that, I also see Kante coming in at the minute. The likes of Potts and your Alfords, having Kante there also as the way he is as a man, like you said, you hear about this geezer, he goes to round fans' houses for dinner, and he's meant to be such a down-to-earth, humble man. I think the influence of having a winner, he's got a winner's mentality, Kante. He's a good fucking man. So to be honest, the way I see it, if Kante came in for 20 million, and to be honest, lads, I don't see 20 million as a lot of money these days. Look at the fucking silly money players go for. We're talking about it's the wages. For a budget.
Would you pay 10 million a season for peak Kante? Yes, you would.
Yeah, of course.
If you could have peak Kante for a full season, and it's not. But you would do that. So it's a 10 million for if he was fit for the whole season. So I don't think the fee's that bad. It's the wages for me. It's the wages that will be an issue, I think. Anyway, well, they won't go too high anyway. They can't. How you doing, Lee? But what do you reckon, John, about that? If Alvarez was to go, I mean, then I would change my stance, because it might not be that they're looking to cash in on Alvarez. It might just be that the player might be pushing for the move. He wants to go. I don't know.
When we saw Ten Hag buy Anthony, and we got Alvarez and Kudus. We was all like, why the fuck did he buy Anthony and not these two to Man United?
I know.
I would be very upset if Alvarez left. I would also be quite surprised because I think, I don't know, I can't see him going yet. I genuinely can't. I think that he's got too much to give. I think it's exciting times. I think, like Jay said, the way Lopetegui plays will actually benefit Alvarez even more. You'll see probably you'll see better performances more consistently for me. I'd be upset if he left 100%. I don't want him to leave. I wouldn't want Kante. I wouldn't want anyone over Alvarez.
I agree, but it's the only rationale, John, because I don't see why you would bring Kante in with Alvarez, with Paqueta, with Alford, with Potts. I don't see why you'd do it. Do you know what I mean?
Could an argument be though that Alvarez he's fucking quite, you know, he gets bookings, he does get bans, like, and out of Alford, Earthy, Potts, fucking JWP, Souček, I would still, if you was going to say, right, you're going to have to put someone in to do Alvarez role, I'd take Kante over what we've got personally because he's proven.
Yeah,
that's my take on it.
Listen, if he came in, I'd be excited because he's a world-class player, but I wouldn't buy him if that makes sense. If you gave me a choice now, I'd say no. He wouldn't be my choice.
For what?
I hope you ain't watching this because if he does something, he won't be coming to your house for dinner. That's for sure.
No, for Kante. If it was me, if you asked me, should we go and buy Kante, I would say no. If we got him in, I'd be excited. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a weird one. What about you?
Yeah, I'd be excited, but if it was at the cost of Alvarez, I wouldn't like that because not only it's also about the future of it. He's got a very short shelf life. I had to say that right then. Whereas Alvarez ain't. We all love Alvarez, of course we do. But if it was to bring him to replace him, I'm not too sure I'd be over the moon with that, especially when there's other players like Fofana. I keep going on about it, but he looks like he's going AC Milan.
See, that makes no sense, right? If you look at the amount that would cost, I know John's going to say the money don't matter, but it does if you're buying players. So if you're looking at a collective value of 25 million, which is basically for 2 seasons, and his wages, which they'd be astronomical, you'd be looking at 40, 50 million. We could buy Yusuf Fofana for 25 million. His wages would be less than half of what Kante's are, and he is a dynamic box to box player. I don't know. I just feel like if it was because we were selling Alvarez, I could understand it. I wouldn't support it. I wouldn't be happy. But if we sold Alvarez, I'd be very happy at that point that we got Kante in because we'd need someone to replace Alvarez. But if we get Kante with Alvarez, I don't get it because I just feel like it's cock blocking the youth players that we want to see come through, and that was my only rationale behind saying, okay, let's let Downs go because I thought he was standing in the way of Potts, maybe Alford. Yeah,
I don't believe the Kante thing. It's also everything that comes with it, like the tax and that. I think it's going to be too messy. This is a rumor. I'm not buying that much, to be honest with you. I'm not.
I mean, here's one. I'll throw this at you, John. But John, I'll throw this at you. So say we buy Kante, everyone's fit, and we played a 3-4-3. How do we set up? Or I'll tell you what, make it easy. Now make it easier. Do a 4-2-3-1, standard formation, 4-2-3-1.
Well, the two would probably be 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
4.
So it's 2 in the middle and a 10. Two central midfielders and a 10.
Well, if you add all of the above, the 2 would probably be Kante and Alvarez, wouldn't it?
Is that not too defensive?
Well, no, I agree. But what else are you going to do? Because you ain't going to put Souček ahead of Kante, are you? And you ain't going to put, much as I love James Ward-Prowse, you're not going to put James Ward-Prowse ahead of Kante. So if you've got Kante there, then generally you're going to use him. If you go, look, it ain't my ideal situation. Of course,
I would just be gutted because I feel like we're fixing a problem that don't need fixing. I think there's so many other areas that we need to address.
We don't need midfield. I don't think we need to look at the midfield.
We don't need it. This is
we're overrun with midfield.
It's what's baffling me. I think if we was to sign him and Alvarez was to stay, it would be a Sullivan signing, not a Tim signing, not anyone else, because I think it's a commercial deal. You think what you do in fucking shirt sales for a start.
I agree with that.
He's a worldwide star. I think it's a commercial deal.
I agree with that.
That's what I think it is. I don't necessarily think. Oh, but like you've all said on here, what are the odds out of 10, John, that that's going to happen?
1.
I don't think it's going to happen. So what do you reckon? What do you reckon, Jay?
Again, I don't think it's going to happen.
No, it's not. It's not going to happen. Purely because of the wages. Because there's the other thing as well. I think it was Gio mentioned earlier on. There's tax implications for players as well. If you go into the next tax year, because the money they earn out of there is tax free. If you leave,
if they don't pay for a certain amount of time, they have to pay it back.
He's got to pay it back. So and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. He's on 400 grand a week. Do the maths. That's lewds.
So we're giving that rumour a donkey. He's got a donkey. That rumour.
But I'll tell you what. I haven't got John's doing arithmetic in his head
right.
at the moment. Yeah, he's meditating. But John, I haven't had your thoughts yet. I know you was excited.
I'm doing
with
the
Loppy
maths.
coming in.
You told me to do the maths. I'm doing the maths.
You was excited with Loppy coming in. Are you more excited since you've been seeing since you've heard him speak? You've seen all the behind the scenes. You know, like the training videos that you've been seeing. Have you been getting more excited the more you've seen of this?
Yeah, I would have that man's babies. I'm starting to think.
He's quality, isn't he? He is quality.
He's like Mourinho was to some extent. I used to love Mourinho, even though he didn't manage us. I used to like his charisma, and Lopetegui's full of charisma.
Budgie.
All the play. Can you stop interrupting me? Don't talk to Budgie when I'm
sorry,
talking.
John. Yeah, no, you're right. You are right. Sorry, mate.
Budgie, stop talking a minute, mate. For fuck's sake. I'm joking, Budgie. Then calm down. I just think he's he's freshened it up massively, mate. Listen, he's got charisma. He's got the charm. Kudus has come out and said how he's enjoying the training. Yeah. It's about enjoying it now. And the thing is, misery guts, it ain't all about you, right? Let's be honest. But no, it isn't. The most important dynamic of enjoying
leave that one up.
Style of football. Shut up.
Yeah.
The most important factor is the players, because if the players are enjoying themselves, then as a domino effect, we will enjoy ourselves. So the players are the ones that need to be kept happy. The players are the ones that need to have camaraderie and togetherness and a breath of fresh air, because they will perform, and inadvertently we will then be happier because we'll watch them be happy. Everybody's happy. HAPPY. Not happy Hammerette either. Happy Hammerette can piss off. It's nothing to do with her.
I don't know what's happening on this show. You lot are lifting my mood. I don't know why. It don't normally happen, but I am starting to get up because I'm excited deep down. But you know what it is? I'm panicked because I really don't. I don't. Yeah, I am. But I don't want it to go wrong. I'm so fucking paranoid that it's not going to go right next season, because I think we've got the fundamental bait. We've got the foundations of this moving on. I love Lopetegui. I do. I don't feel like they're helping him that much at the moment by not getting these players in.
Sorry, lads. Jay, Mickey as well. Not just Nick. What is a successful season this season for Lopetegui?
Just playing good football and sort of half midway up. I'd be happy with that. Just seeing a different style for me. Go on, Jay.
I'd say top half finish, playing good football, seeing youngsters, crowd singing his name. I'm fucking well happy with that.
I'll tell you mine, right? Because I can't be. All last season we were talking about how we should be playing a better brand of football and still being up the league. Yeah. So I reckon it's got to be Europe. I do reckon it's got to be Europe, because I can't change my tune from last season. I can't know, John. If I said with a better manager, the squad that we had, we could have done better with a better manager. So by that thing, then I've got to say.
Sorry, Mick. Are you saying that he will have failed if he don't get Europe?
Oh,
I think it'd be disappointing. I think it'd be a bit disappointing if you don't, to be honest with you. I do.
Well, coming into a team, completely changing the way we're going to play, you'd be expecting it to kick on straight away.
The 2 seasons before, we said, and we all did say it, that with a better manager, the team that we had, not only would we play better football, but we'd get more out of them players. We'd see a better, they would do better. So in that theory, he should be getting Europe, whether that's going to be the Europa Conference again or something. But it should be Europe.
See, for me, Stephen Russell nails it in a nutshell.
You told me to leave that on.
No, but that just fun again. Just
I
fun.
mean, that goes without saying, to be fair.
But you know, just that feeling.
Jill's calling you. Jill's calling you. Sorry.
Right, going back to Happy's point. So, right, this is going to bring the tone down. I imagine it would. I would hope it would with your affiliation of hatred with that's the wrong word with Arsenal, John. Now, look, we're talking about our own youth players. We're talking about we've got all these players like Callum Marshall and stuff like that. If you want to bring through a little bit of an unknown, what are your thoughts on bringing in? Because I know you weren't that keen on the striker from Arsenal that we was kept on being linked with. What are your thoughts on?
The one that
Reece Nelson.
You were telling me there's a great striker's going to score loads of goals.
Yeah.
That bloke.
Thanks. Cheers, Nick.
What's his name again?
I can't think of his name.
He's coming
now.
back.
I can't think of his name, but Reece. But Reece Nelson.
Hang on a minute. Is John Nick's son?
Fuck you, Nick. One. Fuck you.
He's a year younger than me.
Shocking, isn't it?
And Steve Bell. Cheers, mate. Thank you. But yeah, no. John, Reece Nelson. How would you feel if we splurged 25 million on Reece Nelson?
Pointless.
That is stupid, isn't
it? He's had a lot of. He's been in and around the Arsenal first team for a long time. He's never really nailed down a position. Apparently, the Arsenal fans like him, but that's probably more to do with the fact that he's one of your own scenario. You know, he had a lot of injuries. He's had a lot of injuries, I know, as well. I just think it's pointless. We don't need to buy other Premier League players, youth team players anymore. Do you know what I mean? I don't think. I think.
Do you know the amount of minutes he's played for Arsenal, where it amounts to? Bearing in mind he's 24, and he spent half a season and a full season away from Arsenal. So in 6 years, he's played minutes that basically accumulate to 14 games worth.
Yeah, there you go. Pointless, isn't it?
Happy really likes him. Happy really likes him. Happy Emirates really likes.
But for 25 million, for all the other players that we're talking about being linked with, even that Jota Silva, he's got a 17 million release clause. You know, I just don't know.
You only want him back to get that fucking song up again. That's the way you are.
It's going to be a fucking travesty if we don't sign him. It will.
But do you know what? Bigger than the biggest problem with that is what you said before. It's the message it sends to all our own youth. Why are we going out to dip into Arsenal?
Reece Nelson,
when we've got the best fucking youth, and I've had the best youth for fucking good couple. That for me, that is a terrible message to your Alfords, your Earthies. What, you're going to go and fucking spend on him? And
do you know, Jay? Do you know this player has had plenty of opportunities? It came up earlier on. He's had plenty of opportunities for moves away. Apparently, he turned down a couple of loans. He was happy to sit on the bench. He was almost forced out on one of his loans to the Bundesliga. He's had chances to move away to continue his career. He's been happy to sit on the fucking bench until the age of 24. He's had loads of injuries as well. Loads of injuries. I don't know where these injuries come from.
Maybe he thought he could force his way into the first team, but after that amount of time, you think you'd be realistic. And you know, don't matter if you've come through a youth setup or you're an Arsenal fan, you've got to think about moving on. You know, we've said it about numerous West Ham players like Josh Cullen and all that. You know, we kept them far too long, and all of a sudden they're 22, 23, and they've played a handful of games. It's pointless. You're actually stifling that player. So he should have gone years ago, but no, I don't want him at all. And the other player you're talking about, who you raved about last season, was us going in for Eddie Nketiah, who I told you was an absolute donkey. He's similar. He's 25. I mean, he's played over 100 games for Arsenal, but he's been there. He's been there 10 years or so. I don't know. He's been there, but you know, I don't want to go down that road.
I don't want Arsenal cast-offs.
Well, we used to get Arsenal cast-offs, but they were good ones like Winterburn,
Ian Wright.
They were funny. Yeah. They was when we had real no. They was even more when we had no ambition to some extent. You know, buying them in late 30s. Not being horrible, but it's true. But they were fun. But we knew what we was expecting. If we bought players like that, what?
Arsenal play ridiculous money for their players. They do. That's why they're happy to sit on the bench, Mick.
That's fucking mental.
I know. And you look at poor old Soufel's on 30 grand a week, apparently.
Yeah. I've been on the bench for 6 months. I ain't had a penny out of this fucking YouTube. Must be going to Jay with his new fucking hat. Look.
Well, look at his hat. Look. And look at Mickey's mic.
Now, Mick's had that mic for ages.
He's all jazzed up.
Mick, I have noticed something about you. You've got a lovely new haircut. I haven't seen you without a cap before, have I? I always wore a hat, didn't you? I don't
No,
remember.
I wore a cap every now and then, but I got out the shower and I couldn't be bothered to do nothing because I couldn't have a bath in this weather. Everyone knows I love a bath with bubble bath.
Hell. Listen, whenever I phone, honestly, John, whenever I phone him, right? Whenever I phone him, he's either in the bath or running the bath. I've never known anything like it.
I reckon he stands on he sits on the edge of the bath naked, waits for you to call, and then gets in the bath.
He does.
That might be his fantasy.
That's exactly what I do. I do exactly that.
But I'll tell you what, I'm going to put you on the spot, John. I'm going to put you on the spot because from one of your comments on one of our previous shows, the striker that we are most likely to sign, and he still is, that's John Duran. You're not a fan, are you?
Yes.
Well, no, I'm not a fan. I haven't seen enough of him to judge him individually as a player.
You did say that you wouldn't sign him.
I wouldn't sign him purely based on.
Yeah.
Because this is where you get on my fucking nerves, right? Because you love Unai Emery, right? You love him. He's the best thing since.
I do like Emery.
Let me finish. And everything he does, brilliant. Oh, we should have got him. Blah, 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 blah. But he's turned his back on this player for a fucking reason, right? And I don't care what you say, and I don't care what anyone says. I would have to stand by what Unai Emery thinks about this player and think he's got an attitude problem. Now, not saying he can't come to our club and turn himself around. Do we want to get someone like that who's got a reputation?
Di Canio.
Exactly.
On Arnautovic. Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is we've got a long history in taking bastards, and they tend to do very well for us. We like a bastard. We do.
My opinion is more made up on you being so for him that on this occasion you decide to ignore Emery. The hypocrisy of you.
No. Well, look. With this one, you know who I speak to. So it's the intermediary in. I can't tell you. It's the intermediary in. Well, no, you know. It's the intermediary. It's the intermediary in the deal. So basically, what he's saying is no, it's not. It ain't Sean. It ain't Sean. What he's saying is, listen to this. What he's saying is, and we've seen this before. He's saying that Emery wanted somebody else in the summer, but the director of football brought this player in because he's got a high ceiling. Emery has never taken to him because he didn't want him, and this player has kicked off. He won't take. They're basically what they're saying is it's a David Moyes Ben Rama situation. Right. So we've seen it with Haller, and it does happen sometimes. Sometimes you're just not going to gel, but you're just not going to gel. You're not going to gel with a manager. He wants to play first team football. If he came into us, he would be playing first team football, wouldn't he? He would be 100%.
Yeah, maybe. Listen,
I'd be so excited if we got him. I would be. Yeah.
Talking about
pew pew Juju.
What?
Hello, Juju.
Still doing that, yeah? Still doing the pew.
I'm doing with vengeance now. You're back.
I thought we all got midfield a little bit, you know.
We got a Villa fan in. Duran has got a poor attitude. He's crashed his car 4 times at Villa, and we only signed Duran in the January window. He might be a bad driver. I don't mean he's got a bad attitude.
Hang on a minute. Duran has poor attitude. He's crashed his car 4 times at Villa.
What I did hear, he stays in a flat. I don't know how true this is. He stays in a flat paid for by the club, and it's the same block that Emery's staying in. And apparently he's wrecked it twice. Apparently he's wrecked it twice, yeah.
Can you imagine coming from a place, a beautiful country in South America, and turning up in Birmingham? Now, I can say this.
Wow.
I don't care what you say. I've got history here. My wife's family originate from Aston. Right? Her grandmother lived in the next road from the Villa ground called Yew Tree Road. Right? And when I go Villa games, I go and see the Nan. With all due respect, I love her Nan, but the area, what a fucking shithole.
But Birmingham, I've never had a good time in Birmingham ever. I used to do quite a lot of work up there. It's grim.
You cannot have a good time in Birmingham.
It's grim.
It
really is.
Just to balance it out, I love Birmingham.
This one's for you. Words and pictures is causing trouble.
Birmingham fans.
Why do you love Birmingham? Why do you love Birmingham?
I just want to balance it out, mate, because we've got some people who are fans in Birmingham, so I don't want to feel like we're discriminating against Birmingham.
There probably are parts of the Midlands that are nice. Birmingham, whenever I've been to Birmingham, it's been bad. It ain't been good.
Hang on a minute. That shows you're illiterate. some parts of Birmingham are good, some parts are bad. No,
I'm sure
the
some
whole of
are.
Birmingham
I'm
is
sure
shit.
some are.
Other parts of the Midlands and other parts
yeah.
of the Midlands are nice. Not Birmingham. There's not a nice part of Birmingham.
There must be. There's got to be. There's good and bad everywhere, John. There's good and bad everywhere. But yeah, but I'll tell you what, right? We'll wrap this up because we're going to run this for an hour, and I'll tell you what we'll do. Then we'll take some questions from the chat. But the remaining part of the window, let's say we're going to buy a centre back, we're going to buy a right back. So look, out of the players that we're linked with at the moment, yeah. So centre back, right back, central midfielder, left winger, striker, 5 players. It is that they are saying that it is 5 players that we're going to be buying. So I'll start with you, Jay. Centre back, right back, central midfielder, left winger, striker. Go.
Fucking hell. Hold on. Centre back, that to Debigo.
To Debigo, yeah, he's a good one.
Debigo.
Yeah.
Right back, I would go with Wan-Bissaka. What was the other ones?
Central midfielder, left winger, striker.
Central midfielder, I'd go with one of our youth. I'd bring in one of the fucking youth.
That's what I'd say.
And you've got Potts there, or you got fucking. I would say Potts. I'd go with Potts actually. Striker, I'd go with. Do you know? I'd go with Sorloth. That's who I'd go with.
Oh, mate, he's a Cartles. He's had one good fucking season.
Still,
he's 28. He's had one good season.
That's my followed by Duran. But I'd go with Sorloth. And what was the other one? Was there a winger as well?
A left winger. Left winger.
Left winger. Do you know what? Give fucking Cornet a run out. That's my fucking.
It's got to be. It's got to be Yotta. It's got to be Yotta. I'm sorry.
That's right. Is that fucking hat on your head?
Mate, you wait. If he gets a run out, the way Lopetegui plays football, we need someone who's going to run down the fucking left and ping it in with the left.
Yeah, and not get caught offside, Jay.
That was Moyes' fault.
Corner.
That was Moyes' fault. Nothing to do with Corner.
Right, Mickey, go. Let's see if he was listening. I'm not even going to tell you the positions. Go on.
It's a bit out of order, isn't it? Right, I'll have that same Tolido. I don't know his name, but we'll have him. Yeah, we'll have him. Midfielder, I would like to. Right back, Wan-Bissaka, I like him, though. Midfielder, Cornelius gone youth, you've gone for that, but I've always wanted Fofana, so I'd love to get Fofana, to be fair to you. The striker, as much as I'd like Duran, I still would love Tony. Ivan Tony in this team. I think that he's guaranteed to score your goal. So I'd like Ivan Tony.
I would not turn my nose up at Tony.
No, and for the left winger, I'd like Vinicius Junior to be fair, please.
Right, John, go on your go, mate. Centre back, right back, central midfielder, left winger, striker.
Striker, I agree with Mickey. I'd like to see Ivan Toney, but not for 50 million. I think that's too much.
Do you think so? See, I think 50 is reasonable.
Yes, a lot of money in it. I mean, what is he, 30?
He's 29. He's 29.
Oh, I was a fucking 6 months out. Jesus Christ.
You're saying you wanted to sign Kante. He's 33.
Yeah, but it's a different thing, isn't it? We need goals.
You also said it ain't your money and you don't care how much things spend.
True. Fuck it. 50 million. Have him.
Yeah, go on.
I'd like Tony. I was playing your game back then. We're not going to get him now, but what's his name? The one who's at Coventry, Gucarez. I think he's phenomenal.
Oh, he's decent.
Yeah, but I can't see us getting him. He's only been at Sporting 1 year. We'd have to fucking give some money to get him. I like Wan-Bissaka, absolutely. You know, there was a time when, I can't remember, a couple of years ago, no one ever dribbled past him. There was some ridiculous stat that people didn't dribble past him. He's
divisive, though, John. I like him, I really do. But a lot of people are saying he's shit going forward. I don't think he is.
Yeah, but it's the problem is, I've said it before, with a lot of the Man United players over the last 2 years, because they've as a club have been in turmoil. A lot of their players, West Ham fans, turning their nose up to certain players who are good players who have just lost their way a little bit. And I'm going to say it, I like McTominay. I'm not saying I want him in, but I like McTominay. I always have. I think he does a decent job. He scores goals. Ivan Toney, Wan-Bissaka, like Jay, I promote from within in terms of centre midfield. We don't need any more centre midfield. We've got a raft of centre midfielders, in my opinion. And left wing, I'd say Stan Lazaridis.
Yep, 100%.
I'll take him back. He'd be better than Cornet.
Never.
For me, look, it's going to be the same answer in defence. It'll be Todibo if he don't want to come to us. But if not him, Kante, I like him. I like Kante.
Kante from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Have you been linked with him?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that.
He's one that we're talking to apparently. The right back Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well. People do criticise him, saying he don't get forward, and the way Lopetegui wants his wing backs to play, they've got to be good getting forward. I think he's a brilliant player. He was brilliant for Palace. He ain't flourished at Man United, but not many people have in the last few years, have they?
No, that's my argument about it all. I mean, you know, it's not that we're not up there with Man United. It's that they've got a lot of good players who have just been devalued because of the circumstances at the club. I would take Wan-Bissaka, and I would at a push take Scott McTominay. But I know that ain't a position we actually need at the moment. But I would, if we needed a centre mid, I wouldn't be adverse to getting McTominay. I really wouldn't.
Right. The next one for me would be, I don't think we need another defensive midfielder. No. I think we've got Potts, we've got Earthy, who can sort of play that role if and when we need to. For me, I would go. I'd go Sule from Juventus all day long. Absolute fucking generation. Matthias Sule. He's a fucking generational talent. He's fantastic. I'd get him. And this is probably what I would do because he can play wide as well. I know he hasn't so much for Villa, but I would because he's direct and he's a good runner. I'd go Duran and Tony. That's what I would do because Duran would be an absolute beast running from the left-hand side. He would be.
I think Hammers Mikey, 100%, you know, even I don't usually agree with Hammers Mikey that much, but a striker for me is the most important position. Not because I'm hating on Antonio, he's 34, and not because I'm hating on Ings. You know, Lopetegui might not fancy him. But for me, for fucking once, in the first time since Tony Cottee, I would love a striker to bag 20 goals in a season. Imagine that again. It's so long. It's been so fucking long. So for me,
it'd be amazing.
Striker is imperative. Going for two strikers, I can't see it though. Getting Duran and fucking Tony, that's a bit of a dream for you. But yeah, we need a good striker who's got proven goal scoring record.
Yeah. Can I just say though, right? Another one said Wan-Bissaka, right? But the other one from Southampton,
Cole Walker-Peters.
Cole Walker-Peters. So the way Loppy plays, would he not be more suitable to the way he plays?
If you're talking about wing back, I'd say probably yes. Yes,
because that's how he plays. Then he likes playing that fast wing back. So would he not suit that play? I mean, I'd rather Wan-Bissaka all day long, but
listen. He was brilliant going forward for Palace. Wan-Bissaka, he was. He's. I think he's got a lot to his game. Just goes back to what John said. I think Man United are a basket case, and how many players end up looking shit there? You know.
Yeah.
The thing is, the modern wing back is. Probably these days more offensive than defensive anyway. The way they get the wing backs playing from a very young age, you know, they want them to be very forward thinking. I'm not saying the defensive side is secondary because I actually think, contrary to that defenders should be able to defend. But I think in the modern football world, I think it's all about the attacking capabilities of a wing back, and generally that's probably more important to the formations or the way that football's played now than the defensive side of it. You know.
Yeah, there is a player. Look, I'm just talking, and I've completely forgot about him because we signed him ages ago. There's someone we have all forgotten, and that's Guilherme. We've got him as well. He can play left. He can play left wing, right wing. Yeah. He can do that. You know that he is tipped in Brazil. Who's the Brazilian, the English Brazilian football correspondent? Is it Vickery? I think it's Vickery. He came out and said he's going to be a central midfielder. He said because of the ability that he's got, the way he can drive with the ball, how good he is operating in tight areas, the way he can see a pass. He said he was being brought into the team because of his pace on the right-hand side and up front because he can be a good impact player. But he said he's 100% got the ability to be a central player. So he's another one, I think, as a utility player bringing in, because I don't think he's going to start Guilherme, is he? He's 18. It might take him a little while to... I
imagine he get bedded in a little bit,
Yeah, I would have thought that Guilherme would have to be what like Kuda's done under Moyes. Like he'd have to take his opportunity. He'd have to make it so that they couldn't drop him at the moment if that's how he's going to be. But yeah, I think it'd be like impact subs for him. I'm looking forward to seeing him play.
You know, the thing is at the start of the window when he was dipping into the Brazilian transfer market, You know, that is what is indicative of Dutch football over the last donkey's years. Dutch football has always had picked out some sort of, not unknowns, but, you know, picked out some Brazilian players like Romario, the original Ronaldo. A lot of them Brazilians plied their trade in Europe, in Holland. And obviously with Steidlen, the way he's been working over at Ajax and that, in Germany and that, I was hoping that he was plucking into that market and hopefully bringing in players that we may not be that aware of, but who can hit the ground running, you know, picking out some sort of rough diamonds out there for next to nothing. But it doesn't seem like it's going to materialise any further forward, I don't think. Yeah,
there is something in this, by the way, what Cole's saying. I didn't know about the breaking news, by the way. Juventus and Leicester close to agreement for 30 million. I do know that the player wants to come to West Ham. I'm not saying he's going to turn Leicester down, but I know for a fact that the player has been interested in coming to West Ham since the start because Tim and Loppy have met with the player. He was happy with the project, but we couldn't agree terms. In fact, I've been told there's a bit of a conspiracy going on with this Todibo deal because we knew that Juventus wanted Todibo and they didn't have money, and we've driven the money up. Todibo was, I think Juventus were queuing up like a 14 million bid, and we went and put a 30 million bid in. We've driven his price up. We've driven his price up. They can't afford it. They haven't got that money. So I'm told there might be some jiggery pokery going on there, some games because there is some dark arts that goes on, isn't there, with these clubs. Yeah, I don't think that's over yet. I don't. I know that West Ham are interested in Soulé.
But what's he saying? What's Cole saying?
30 million for him as well. Fuck me.
But what does Cole say when he said the player wants the Tons move? What's that? Is that not Tone or something? Newcastle.
No. He got it. He spelt it wrong. He said, No, it is for us. It is for us. He wants to come to us. So that'd be amazing. It would be. I do think we're kind of overloading on creative players, but that suits me. That suits me.
Oh yeah.
That's another thing. Like going from Soulé to Kante. Kante is a world-class player, but it's the profile of player that he is. To picture our team all of a sudden with two central defensive midfielders, you think, fucking hell. You know, don't really want that. Not particularly, but look, it is what it is. Right, put your questions in.
Let's not believe every rumour, though.
We won't. Put some questions in the chat, and then we'll wrap up. We'll wrap it up. Make it a short one. That was a good fun show. That was. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's nice to get back into the just starting off because we've got the season starting in a few weeks' time, haven't we? So we'll be. Sunday shows are going to be back on. Lovely.
It's interesting. At the end of the day, we're all just football fans. You know, we all grow up playing football and all that, didn't we? So it's what it's about, having fun. In fact, Mick, I stumbled across a picture of you back in your playing days.
Yeah, go on. Be a midget or something. Go on.
Have you got it?
Sabutio.
Garino says here he spoke to a Juve fan who says Soulé's got the potential to be world class. Right now, I've actually read a couple of. There's so much online you can read about this guy. I've read a detailed scout report from a very critical scouting database on there. They've basically said on this his potential is 9.8 out of 10. He's tipped to be one of the best players that Argentina have ever produced. That's fucking. So 30 million. Just pay it. Just get it done. You know, this frustrates me. But then again, if we manage to get it, I mean, look, we kind of got we do seem to be getting over the line. You know, if that's what I mean, if Tim is playing these games, if it's Tim or whoever it is doing these negotiations, and we do manage to pull some of these off, because it could look very different. I'm getting the ump going Callum Wilson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, fucking Scott McTominay. We could quite conceivably sign Todibo. We could sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We could sign Duran. We could sign Soulé. Bloody hell, John, you all right, mate?
What was that?
He's just blown his nose. He's but we could. We could sign these players. Yeah, Jay. Question for Jay: what advice would you give to anyone that hasn't got behind J-Lo yet?
Right, quite simple. First and foremost, remember where we've been for the last few years, right? We've got something in place that, again, forgetting J-Lo we've got something new to look forward to. The fact that it just so happens to be J-Lo, who is good with the fans. He's good with his players. He's good with people. He plays good football.
Doing balloon animals.
For me, I don't think there's anything not to get behind with J-Lo at the moment because it's new. It's something exciting. It's something that for me anyway, it's going back over West Ham and not knowing what to expect. So that's what I'm excited about, and that's why I get behind him. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, there is another one here. We'll go to Mickey on this one because I know he's...
What's this? Why is Nick doing balloon animal noises?
No, we could hear you blowing your nose. We could hear you blowing
your nose.
Yeah.
Mate, it sounds like you fucking shit yourself at the end of it.
Look, here's one for John from Nick 1. Well, Nick 2, actually. Question, if John was locked up in a basement with a brummie, how long would he last?
How long would I last with a brummie?
You.
I'd fucking last 30 seconds because I cannot understand that fucking accent that they do. It's like aliens talking. So I would leave and I'd be gone. I'd be dead. Yeah, right. I'd suicide myself. I'd kill myself. I'd be gone. No disrespect.
I'd suicide.
I shouldn't say that. But yeah, I'd top myself, but in a nice way, obviously.
In a nice way. Right. Hammers Rule ST says, great show, guys. Would you be happy with mid-table and a good cup run, Mickey?
Well, I just said about Europe. So if we get a good cup run, are we talking about winning the cup? We get Europe then. So
it's a cup run.
Yeah, it's a good cup run. Mick. I wasn't say winning the cup. It's a good cup run. Good run cup.
All right. Well, good what? Good one cup.
Cup run. Two girls, one cup. Two girls, one cup. What?
I'll be happy with 2 girls, 1 cup. Yeah, that's a good, isn't it? No, I still think that it should be Europe. To be honest with you, I do. If we're gonna have a cup run, it's got to be to win it. Let's go for the League Cup then.
Right. Okay. Hammers, Mikey, you have this one, John. You're the manager with the players that we've got. What would be your favoured formation for us next season to deliver the type of football that you want to see?
I like 3-5-2.
Yeah, so in a sense, what we're doing that 3-4-3, but an adaptation.
Yeah.
Three at the back, three at the back wing backs, three at the back wing backs.
Yeah. In possession, 3 at the back, out of position, 5. You know,
that's what Loppy did at Wolves.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's what I've always said we should be doing, but we didn't have the players, the quality of players to probably do it. I love Soufal, and Cresswell and whoever's gone before him, but they're not up to that job, and you need those positions. They're the hardest positions on the pitch now. That left and right wing back position. You have got to have some fucking engine. I mean, even you've probably seen it in your boys' team. Even in my boys' team, the boys that play left and right wing back, I watch them and I think, fuck it. They have to attack. They don't stop.
I do literally pick the fittest players to put in those positions. You have to, because it's they've got they're big fucking pitches. To get up and down. One second. So you got fortunes hiding down under CV. Hello, Ryan. With the players we've got to aim for Europe. Yeah, you got to aim for Europe, but I don't think it's a catastrophe if we don't get there. For me, it ain't. Not really. I haven't got that expectation yet. I haven't got that.
I don't want to have Europe. I don't want Europe because that fucking Aussie bastard Ryan will moan. Oh, I've got to get up at 2 a.m. to watch West Ham in Europe. Oh, but I want Europe, but I don't want Europe. Stop fucking moaning.
Budgie, question for Mickey. You're on an island and you can only have one musical album. What are you taking?
It's of course out of 2. I just thought about this, but then I probably will take Dr. Dre's 2001
Chronic.
Dr. Dre?
Yeah, Dr. Dre 2001 Chronic. Ain't it? It's a great album.
Classic, Mick. Don't have his fucking.
What are you going to take then, John? What's your album?
So is that the only one? So you'd want to listen to Dr. Dre?
You can only take one album, musical album. You can only take one. I can't have like.
Can I ask you a question? What is he a doctor of? What's he a doctor of?
Musicology. Next question, please.
Don't play any instruments. He doesn't play any. He doesn't play any instruments though. So, what sort of music does he?
It is a good album. I'm a fan of the album.
Oh, shut up, Nick. You're a fan of the album. That's 65 years of age. You don't know about Dr. Dre.
Man, I'm down with the kids. I'm straight.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's it. We're going to wrap this one up anyway. We said we was going to do an hour. Yes, and as someone said, this is a warm up for the Sunday night. It's just getting everyone back on the screen, getting back into the swing of it. Quite enjoyed that. Thanks everyone. Good to have you back, John.
Yeah.
What's good
And
to have
you,
you back,
Mickey.
John?
And Jay, it's nice to be able to see you on this one.
Yes, nice to be seen.
With your crappy internet connection.
I thought it was yours. I thought we agreed it was yours.
Travis, the man who.
Oh, shut up! That's such a terrible band.
To answer your. Yeah, but they play their own instruments and they sing the songs and they write the songs and they play the theme tune and they sing the theme tune.
They do.
Right, end the stream. You killed the stream. End it.
We're gonna end the stream.
What are you doing? Right. What are you doing? Are you ending the stream or what?
I was looking for an outro. It's all gone. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to end it. Right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon. Come on, you irons.
I'm not coming back. That's it. I'm done.